You know what I'm calling it? Dan Quinn?
Yeah.
Dan Quinn, Medicine Man.
Oh.
He fixed the defense there. That's a reference that if we have any, 50-year-old moms watching, they might get that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's our target audience, 50-year-old moms. That's it. That's what we're going for. I mean, we kind of set out to do this podcast. We were like, what's our mission statement?
Yeah.
50-year-old moms.
I would love that.
I would, too.
If you're a 50-year-old,
cool.
If you're a 50-year-old mom listening and an avid listener,
I think we have a few.
I think we do, too.
I think we have a few. We do.
We got a few tweets on that. I thought it was a great reference.
I still don't even know the reference. So
Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Right. Yes. I don't know it. I need to look it up. I didn't look it up. But what's up, everybody? This is Chris Simpson Unbuttoned, presented by Under Armour. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I remember this a little bit.
If you're watching on YouTube, you get to see the picture of there's Dr. Quinn.
Right. There's Jane Seymour.
Okay.
Jane
Seymour.
More famous for what?
I don't know, actually. Oh, yeah, that's right. There were some gifts with that.
You motorboating son of a bitch, you.
Yeah. It was a little more buttoned up on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Yes, I have a little more. You think so?
Which I tried it. So I tested it out here.
Yeah.
Right. It's a huge plan by me. Tested that, reference out here. And then I guest hosted on Brother from Another. You're on that show.
I saw you.
You saw that?
Yeah,
okay.
You did a great job. That was last Wednesday, right?
Yeah, was it Wednesday?
Yeah, because I was on Thursday and you weren't there.
That's
the day
right.
before. But you look good, man. You did good.
Thanks, Chris. So I tried it out. I tried it out on there.
Right.
And I think we have a clip of me and Michael Holly talking about Dan Quinn, Medicine Man.
As Ashley mentions, now with that defense that's good for the first time in forever, Dan Quinn there, and both of you can use this. I think he's cured the defense. I call him Dan Quinn, Medicine Man. It's a former show. Dr. Quinn, Medicine. Well, that's before Ashley's time, perhaps.
And maybe mine too.
I mean, that was nice.
They both gave the courtesy laugh.
They gave the courtesy laugh. Like, we don't get that. But that's funny. Do you think they actually got it, either one of them?
Ashley, probably not.
No.
She seems young enough to where it's like that show is not on her radar, right?
Yes.
Michael,
Michael probably does it. He's pretty well schooled in everything.
But it's his show. He probably wanted to move on very quickly from that. He's like, this is not.
This is not where I'm trying. This is not the vibe we're going here from Brother from Another. All right. So last thing on this weird topic to start off our awesome Football Monday podcast. Do you even know the movie I'm talking about?
I don't know that. No, I don't know
good.
that
I knew you
movie.
glossed over that. I had to go back to that.
I don't know it.
So you've never seen Wedding Crashers?
Oh no, I have seen that movie. So she's in Wedding Crashers.
She's the for lack of MILF, right? Right?
Cougar, if you will.
Sorry, that's more appropriate. Of the guy who's the congressman. They're standing, and she's So you remember that now?
Right. No, I don't remember that.
You don't remember her in that? Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of pop culture in my brain, right? And even the ones that I've a short memory too. I've told you this before.
Apparently.
So the combination.
But
there.
you remembered Dr. Quinn, so I don't know. All right, let's get to it.
We've plowed as much ground on this as we can, I think.
Here we go.
Let's get to it. We got our promise to you, the homies, is that we'll get through every game. We'll talk about the key moments that happened in most of these games, some of the storylines going forward. Damn okays. We got that cornerbacks edition because some cornerbacks popped out there. We got the headlines. Give me the headlines where Pete will get in your ear and remind you of the headlines that we talked about before the show. So let's get right into it with a big game Sunday night. You were there for it. We had it on NBC. It was Josh Allen. It was Patrick Mahomes going head-to-head. I think we have the final numbers from each of them. And it was the Josh Allen show. Yeah. Really. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions to Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And Chris, let me start this way.
Yeah.
And this is what I like to say. I like to say the Bills out-chiefed the Chiefs.
Is that what you say?
Yeah, that's what I like to say.
You're funny. So you watched the Peacock show last night, apparently. Yeah, it's one of those things that you know me. I like to say that every time, or every now and then.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of felt that way. Like we were watching the Kansas City Chiefs of, come in here, hold on, we're gonna get into this. We got an extension cord. I need low power on my.
If you're watching on YouTube, you'll get to see Craig. Or is it Craig or no?
Nope, it's not Craig. It's a guy I don't know, but he's going to help us.
Okay, he will help us put a cord into Chris's computer here. So it's one of the many bonuses you get by watching on YouTube, although we do not want to leave our audio customers.
So I don't have to cut it close, and now we're good, and here we go.
Okay.
You mind just throwing that in there for me, and we're all good. Thanks, dude. What's your name?
Tristan.
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 What's up, Tristan?
Thanks,
all right,
Tristan.
Tristan, you the man. Appreciate that, dude. All right, so we'll get back to the game. Thanks, Tristan. Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was watching like the Kansas City Chiefs of 2 years ago, basically. Like, it's just a team that's on a mission right now in Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know, they want to prove to everybody that they're the best team. We're here. We're for real. How dare you doubted our defense? How dare you doubted that Josh Allen wouldn't be awesome for the second year in a row? Oh, you don't think we'll run the ball a little bit better this year? You know, I don't know. There's just an edge about them. And then, you know, I think to cap it off, Ahmed, is like what you saw last night. I mean, you know, we're used to seeing Mahomes doing what Josh Allen did. And that was, you know, no, that was the Josh Allen show last night. I mean, again, we've talked about how shitty Kansas City's defense is. It's really horrible. It's concerning, especially when it gets into, you know, the upper class of the NFL like this. They have no chance of stopping them. And he never really felt like that last night at any point. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like a proud papa in a lot of ways just because, you know, I love Josh Allen. But I do love Patrick Mahomes. And I'm not going to say – I really think I felt bad for him a little bit after last night's game. First off, I'm going to say it one more time. Patrick Mahomes is not 100%. There's nothing you could tell me through 5 games. He's not running around the same way. The numbers tell that. His off-the-balance magical throws are not happening nearly at the same rate as they were before. So they have issues all across the board. I'm not saying like I'm panicked about Kansas City, but the Bills clearly showed that for me, they're the best team in the AFC, and I think they're the best team in the NFL right now.
And I think we'll get into the Chiefs' defense a little bit more here, but this is from Derek Rudolph, who says, damn, okay to the Buffalo Bills defense. Throwing a victory lap, too. The Bills' defense is real. Didn't blitz all night, and the front four caused havoc in the pocket for Holmes, and Russo is a beast, he says.
A beast. I mean, first off, his... You know, he's like a huge. I mean, he's just a freak of a man. You know, I called him a giant tree, I think, on Peacock last night, just because. I mean, he's just such an imposing presence on the edge, and you know, he collapses the pocket, but the interception at the end, you know, that's the other thing. Like Buffalo, they're just well taught in every area. Hey, this team runs RPOs. Get hands up. Don't let them do that. It's the only way we're going to be able to stop that type of stuff. They always do the little things the right way. But I think that's the thing, Ahmed, just to end that comment about Rousseau, is the thing that surprised me more than anything is your point right there. Again, it was too deep most of the night, unless it was a big 4th down play or a big 3rd down play. Their changeup was, well, of those 2 safeties, one roll to the deep middle, one roll to the short middle, and look for crossers. That was really it was a basic game plan. But I think what I'm amazed by more than anything, and what I'm getting to is, you know, Kansas City has shown the ability to kind of move people off the line of scrimmage in every game. Now, whether they stayed patient with the run game or not, that's a different story. But they've shown the ability to blow people off the ball and protect Mahomes, and that was not the case last night. And I think I was a little surprised by that. I didn't think the Bills would dominate Kansas City up front. You know, I'm not saying they borderline dominated them. I thought, like, at the very worst, it'll be a stalemate, and that'll lead to a closer game. But all in all, the Bills are a really impressive all-around football team.
Yeah, the Bills' defense did not blitz Patrick Mahomes once in this game.
Not once, huh?
Or in Week 6, 2020, no other team in the next-gen stats era. I love that era. No other team in this era has played a game without blitzing once.
Wow.
Since 2016.
Wow. That's pretty amazing stat.
So is that something that they can just do and other teams will not be able to do because of the personnel, or is that something that every team should do?
I know. I mean, every team is trying to do that to a degree.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're hearing this every week, right? This is Philadelphia. I bet you they only blitzed the Chiefs a handful of times last week as well.
Yeah.
You know, but as long as you don't have to get desperate and you're going, wait, our front four is getting there. Wait, our front four is stopping the run without a safety coming down in the box and compromising that side. Then you're really in a power position for them. And again, you know, it's just going to be Kansas City. Can they continue to be consistent? I do think, again, you know, I don't want to talk about Kansas City the whole time here, but I think like the other thing too is they got to find a way to make double calls or have a few plays that are specifically to screw over some of these umbrella coverages they're seeing. That's the number one thing that jumps out to me. Yeah, we want to run the ball, bring the defense up. Short passes and be consistent, that'll bring the defense up. But as you heard me say, I think last week a little bit, other teams are getting these defenses too, and they still find ways to throw the ball down the field. And I think that's what's a little concerning, along with Mahomes is not the magic man we've seen in the years past, and the defense is just absolutely atrocious. I mean, it's atrocious. They mess up everything. Run fits, coverages, their communication as the ball's being snapped, they're still talking to each other like they can't figure out what they're doing. And I think that's the thing that bothers me. So, yeah, like Kansas City, my concern level is, okay, they're no longer in the top team in the AFC conversation.
Yeah.
Right? That's gone. It's just about now, like, can you continue to improve your team, and you're going to get in there as a wild card team, and let's see how dangerous or how much better you can get between now and then. At
a certain point, you have to take away Spags' nickname of Spags. You can't have a nickname and have a defense that performs like that. You go back to Spagnuolo.
Well, I'm a little surprised. I mean, he's been so good for them the last few years. They've been very creative. They're usually physically sound when it comes to the run game for the most part. There's two things that I think that I want to see change on that side of the ball. I don't know if they can get simpler. I don't know if they can do that because I don't know if they're talented enough to just play simple defense, right? People are going to expose them. They still don't have enough big people or enough of a rotation on the defensive line. I do think when Chris Jones gets back, they need to put him at defensive tackle again. I said this a little last week, but other than Aaron Donald, he's the best interior defensive lineman in football, and you moved him. And I was all for it, thinking like, hey, maybe it'll be the best way to get the best 11 guys on the field for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I know he didn't play last night, but I think it's something they got to start to think about a little bit because there's he goes too many stretches of the game where you don't notice him anymore, where I would say when he's in the middle, he's not on one side of the line of scrimmage and they can run away from him or they can slide protection. When he's in the middle, he affects the game more. And then after that, there's just not a lot of high-end talented players on their defense right now. Honey Badger, we know why they don't want to give him a new contract. He's not the same guy. Honey Badger has lost a step. There's no other big-time players on that defense. So scheme issues, new players, not playing good, Super Bowl hangover, whatever you want to say, it's all come together for Kansas City on that side of the ball to be less than.
Problems for Kansas City, but still super special for Buffalo to go in there, get a dominant victory.
What's dominant?
Allen was hooking up with Emmanuel Sanders. That seems to be a nice little combo. Knox found him, long touchdown. I mean, they were up early. You can talk about that penalty on Josh Allen when he threw the interception.
It was a bullshit penalty, that's right.
Roughing the passer. Yep. Brought it back. Game would have been closer.
Definitely. It's 31-20, right?
Yeah.
It's 31-20. Kansas City has all the momentum. Mm-hmm. You're going, damn, they got to go. Spags kind of changed up the game plan and finally just said, hey, we're going to just start bringing people and force the issue a little bit. And that was their one chance maybe to get back in the game. And I think that when that play happened and he threw the interception, there was like 12 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
That extended the drive, and then they ended up scoring with 5 minutes left in the game, which ended it basically. That was night. But getting back to some of what you talked about with Allen. I mean, first off, the running right off the bat,
the hurdling,
just the start of the game.
Oh, sure.
The start of the game, he rips off a 40-yard run. They get down in the red zone. They go, hey, let's pull both linemen. You go behind them, and we'll just smash it in there for an 8-yard run against the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, that just tells you how special the skill set is. But you brought up like some of the throws. Like what? I mean, the Emmanuel Sanders touchdown throw, I can't remember who the corner was on that play specifically right now off the top of my head, but he was about to undercut it, like thinking like there's no way he can throw it this hard, this far, and it'll stay 9 feet off the ground the whole way there. Like he was thinking that at some point the ball's going to drop and I'm going to go get it. And he undercut it, and it was like, whoa, it's still going.
Kept going.
I mean, it was just, that's amazing. And then, of course, like, hey, the throw to Dawson Knox and some of the other ones he made, he's truly a special talent. I feel like last night finally going to be end it. Like, it's over. Everybody who was like, there was still some, like,
haters, doubters?
Yeah, definitely. Some doubters on Josh Allen. I mean, there's definitely some of that still. Yeah. Where it was like, oh, I don't know, last year might have been an aberration. Mm-hmm. I'm not sold yet, even though it was one of the greatest years I've ever seen in my life out of anybody.
Yeah.
Last night, I think on that stage against Mahomes, you have to go, well, he's just as talented as Mahomes.
Yeah.
It might not look as cool and everything, but he's just as talented.
I think it does look pretty cool.
It does look cool. I'm with you. Just Mahomes can throw like sidearm down by his knee sometimes where you're like, that's unreal.
But can he hurdle like Josh Allen did on that one play? So you're right. and you're going to be proven right with your love of Josh Allen. Unfortunately, what's going to happen...
I love Mahomes, too, though.
What's going to happen, though? What's going to happen with Josh Allen is that we're going to forget what we used to say about him, and we're going to assume that he was always thought of this
no
way.
doubt. All those people are going to be like, yeah, he's always been great.
I mean, he's always been
always
awesome.
had the talent, right?
Why would you ever doubt him?
Right.
An arm like that?
But the game that goes through them, and then it's, Buffalo didn't even get to play the way they want to play last night to a degree, but they just keep tremendous pressure on you on both sides of the ball. They really, for the most part, they attack on offense, as we know, and defensively, even though they didn't blitz last night, most teams they play, they get at the line of scrimmage. You don't know who's blitzing, who's coming, who's dropping, and they just never compromise themselves. They're playing phenomenal football. Best team in the NFL for my money.
So now Patrick Mahomes, best team in the NFL. I was going to ask you about that. Patrick Mahomes has now lost for the first time to the Ravens, Chargers, Bills in the last 4 weeks. Do we have a meme, Kristen, for our YouTube audience? Is there a meme? Okay, so this is 2020.
That's
funny. It was the Ninja Turtles, and now...
They're all grown up.
Mahomes was Splinter.
He was Splinter. And now he's old Splinter.
Now he's old Splinter.
And old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
are patting him on the back.
And they're like, come on, old Splinter. We'll
Sending
help you
him
out.
On his way. I like that. That NFL memes account, they're
very
good. Clever.
Pretty
very
good.
smart
they are.
people.
They are.
So well done. Buffalo Bills beating the Chiefs at Arrowhead 38-20. Although, is it Arrowhead still? Do we still
no,
call
it's
it?
Geha. Geha.
Sorry.
Geha.
At Arrowhead Stadium. Geha. At Arrowhead Stadium.
Whatever.
All right, so sorry about that.
They don't sponsor us. We only worry about Under Armour here.
So
the only way is through.
I was going to ask you the best team in the AFC. Is it the Bills or the Chargers? You already said that you think the Bills are the best team in the NFL.
I'm going to go with the Bills, of course, in the AFC. Okay. Yeah, the Chargers, again, I love them. I mean, are we going to go to that game? You want to go there next?
That's where we're going.
All right,
that was a perfect transition by me.
All right, perfect.
Chargers defeat the Browns 47-42. What a great game back and forth. Not great if you're on the defensive side for probably either team, but there's a lot of good from Justin Herbert, a lot of good from Cleveland too in the running game and able to rip off some big plays. But in the end, it was a lot of fourth down conversions, which I think is a theme in the NFL right now. But Brandon Staley and the Chargers are doing it more aggressively than basically any other team has in NFL.
Not even close.
History, and it helped them. And it came at a time, their first one, where Cleveland seemed to have all the momentum. They were up 27-13 early in the third quarter.
Right.
L.A. had the ball.
Right.
They had a fourth and
2 or
fourth
3?
and 7 that they had. There might have been a 4th and 2 before that.
I think there was. I think there was there was 2 fourth downs on that drive. If I remember correctly.
So the later one was the 4th and 7. They could have kicked a field goal at that point. You figure a lot of teams in the past would have done that. So all right, it's been a lot of Cleveland. Let's get some points on the board here.
Yep.
They went for it. They got it. The drive ended with a Herbert 9-yard touchdown run, and it was a 2-point conversion after that, and it was 27-21. So the most aggressive team when it comes to fourth down that I think we've ever seen in the NFL.
It seems that way. I mean, I've never seen a team do it like this. Brandon Staley, first off, I mean, he's a really smart guy. I know that just from people who know him. He's in the numbers. Of course, I guess some of it's gut feel a little bit. And the reason I won't, just to answer your question, won't say the Chargers the best team in the NFL or AFC. Just, of course, is the defense a little bit.
Sure.
How can that not worry you a little bit about what you saw yesterday? They have, and I've said this, I know, if you're listening to the podcast, they just don't have enough big people in the middle of their defense. They got a lot of athletic defensive linemen, and it's great, but they don't have just, pure run-stopping killers that way to where they can two-gap and really help and make a mosh pit in the middle of the offensive line. So that's where it's concerning. I mean, Cleveland had its way running the ball all game long. But getting back to the fourth down thing in the Chargers, Staley, the guts, of course, he's thought it out, it sounds like, from any broadcast you listen to because it's a topic of conversation. And then the other thing, too, is, you got a good offensive coordinator. Okay, fourth down. It's going to call something smart. It's not going to be like, oh, shit, coach, wait, you want to go for it? Let's go for this one. I think this is all part of the weekly game plan. He's probably always telling them, hey, I need you to have 8 or 9 fourth down calls for me in this game. Right, that you can go to in case it becomes that kind of football game. But then when you have a quarterback who just hits the bullseye every throw, it's unbelievable. So that, of course, is going to give you confidence too because, I mean, I don't know. On any of these fourth downs, I don't know what their rate of success is right now. but I just never see him miss a target or look at it and go, well, that was stupid or a bad play or a bad thought. So when you continue to do those things, it's going to give the head coach the confidence to keep doing it.
Yeah, 4th and 8, late in the game, 7 minutes left, in field goal range, got it, ended with a touchdown, tie game 35-35. So I think you're right. It's like, it's not just, the numbers say this. I think it's the numbers say
the
this.
Players got to give you.
If you have a Justin Herbert and an offense that can score like
sense,
that, and
right.
maybe if you have a defense that gives up points at the rate they do too. I mean, that's all part of the calculation for them.
Yeah, he's doing it at times where he's going, wait, we're reeling on defense right now. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to make the stop the next drive. We're not playing well. So that seems to be when he does it. It seemed to be the way he started off when I first noticed it against Kansas City a few weeks ago. It was kind of that, like, okay, man, we've lost track of Mahomes and company. They're kind of moving the ball on us. We need to force the issue. Again, last week against the Raiders, right? It was the same thing, Ahmed. I think you watched the game where, they were controlling. They lost control of the game, and now it was like, shit, I don't know if we're going to be able to stop the Raiders. So now's the time. Let's do it again. But between all the weapons they have at wide receiver, their offensive line continues to get better. It protects well. And, they at receiver, they got a little of everything. I mean, they do. They got the route runners, the speed guys, the size guys. They got it all. Mike Williams is one of the best receivers in football, as people can tell. And, they're going to be a pain in the butt a little bit just because of that. Their offense, like a Kansas City or Buffalo, you just go, we're not going to be able to hold them down long. We're not going to be. They're just the quarterback's too good, the system's good, and the players are too good, and that's what's impressive about the Chargers.
16 targets to Mike Williams, 8 catches, 165 yards, a couple touchdowns where he wasn't really covered, which does make it easier.
Yeah,
when you're
sure.
Not really
but
covered.
That's, it goes back to the good game planning again and why you trust yourself on 3rd and 4th downs as a coach, because you go, well, damn, this guy knows how to get people open. He understands how we're being attacked by the other defense right now. And, I think we can pump the brakes a little bit on Cleveland's defense, who kind of feasted on the poor the last few weeks, and they got a little dose of reality here once again.
At Mehmet305 says, damn okay to Joe Lombardi and his play calling. First-year OC, very impressive, converting on 7 of 8 4th downs. I guess that's what their numbers are right now.
Yeah, right.
Meerkat Manor says, damn okay Chargers, just in general, for winning a game that they normally would have folded before.
Yeah.
They did not charger this game away.
No.
And Justin Herbert going for almost 400 yards, 5 total touchdowns. So what do you think? Justin Herbert, MVP case growing?
100%. I mean, I think we're being foolish if we don't put him in that conversation. Him, Josh Allen, of course. Who else are we missing? Kyler Murray, Brady, Dak Prescott, right? Let me just see. Of course, Derrick Henry, I think, is probably still in the conversation right now. You got to give him his due respect. I mean, he's only just carrying the Titans' offense. Don't worry, guys. I'll carry the ball 175 times a game. Just keep giving to me. I think those are the ones that jump out to me, right? I don't think we missed anybody else there. Rodgers, Matthew Stafford. I mean, it's just going to be about some of these teams. Can they continue to stay consistent and keep it going in that direction?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season, right? Russell Wilson, that last year at this time was kind of like the MVP guy.
Right?
And that fizzled as the year went on.
Yep.
The Browns are the first team since at least 1950. We just stopped going back. We're just like, we're not going to go back anymore. Since at least 1950 to lose a game when scoring 40 or more points and 0 turnovers. Previously, teams were 432-0. 432 wins, no losses when you score over 40 and no turnovers. The Browns lost. And honestly, it's the opposite to what we were talking about with the 4th downs. Late in the game on a 3rd and 10, they ran the ball. Now, you can make the argument that Cleveland, that's what they do best.
Yeah, right.
But
that was a curious call.
They got way
moment.
Conservative at the end.
Yeah.
They tried, and that was not the game plan for the Chargers. It paid off for them. They win. They're good. The Bills are good. Neither of them, though, are undefeated.
No.
And that still remains the Arizona Cardinals, defeating the 49ers. Hard-fought game, not the way that they normally win, 17-10. Kyler Murray slowed down a little bit, ended up making some big plays to DeAndre Hopkins at the end, which I think is what good teams do.
Yeah.
Right? Good teams have multiple paths to victory, and I guess I'll just ask you, is Arizona the best team in the NFC?
Well, I'd have to give them that title, I guess, for
over
right
Tampa?
now. No, you're right. I'm taking Tampa.
You gave it, and you immediately took it back.
Because I wasn't thinking clearly. That's why you're
Pete,
here.
how long was that? They had the title for maybe half a second.
No, I think.
Yep.
Right now, with Tampa being a little beat up on defense, I mean, yeah, it would make me think. But I still think in like a one-game scenario and both teams are healthy, I'm going to go with Tampa.
Okay.
I'm still not sure I would go if Arizona had to play the Rams again. I'm not sure I would take them there. So it's close. I still, again, I don't want to disrespect what the Cardinals are doing. It is really special and awesome. But I don't know. There's just, of course, I think Tampa's pretty damn special, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right.
But, man, I mean, just another way to win a football game, I think, is what is impressive to me yesterday. Again, a little bit of a defensive struggle. It wasn't going to be all about the offense and the weapons. Mm-hmm. It's why I thought, really San Francisco would upset them. I thought their defensive scheme could take away some of what Arizona did. Now,
it did.
It did, 100%. Now, I picked that game thinking that we were probably going to see still Jimmy Garoppolo. I really did. I did not think it would be Trey Lance. When we kind of got the reports that, like, hey, he still has a chance to play, and he's going to try to practice on Friday, and they were saying that Wednesday, I was kind of like, well, he'll play then.
You didn't just call Kyle and be like, hey, I have to make a pick on TV.
Those days are done.
This is embarrassing.
Those days are done.
Know.
I haven't I don't talk to Kyle much during the year, so I have no idea or no inside info either way. But, 49ers certainly had opportunities to win this game, go up ahead, put the Cardinals in some tough positions.
A lot of holding penalties for San Francisco when they were driving.
Not being able to convert fourth downs, right? What were they, one for five? Right? That's right. I thought so. So, I mean, they had plenty of opportunities to extend drives, kind of control the game, field position, and couldn't quite get it done. And, of course, the biggest moment being that 4th and 1 on the goal line where, Isaiah Simmons just made an unbelievable play stopping Trey Lance like 2 inches before he scored.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. And he hurt himself in the act.
Did he hurt himself?
I think he hurt his shoulder. He was out for a little bit, but he came back in. But again, it just shows you, there's a toughness and a belief in Arizona. I think that's the first thing I look at. And, with the fact that, hey, I think like you saw a little like maturity from Kyler Murray yesterday, and like, okay, the game's not great. I'm going to be patient. Their offense is struggling too. We'll just hang in there. And then I'll make a play, or we'll make a play at some point here. They're not just going to hold us back forever, and that's what we kind of saw. And I think that's the encouraging thing now that like, oh wait, the Cardinals don't have to be in like a 35-30 shootout to win a game. They can win an ugly football game and still do it that way.
We were just talking about MVP, and PointsBet does have the odds for MVP right now. Allen and Tom Brady are the favorites, the co-favorites at plus 500 right now. Kyler and Herbert right behind at plus 650. A couple of rookies in this game. I think Arizona's Rondale Moore showed some really good pop out there.
Sick, right.
Great run after the catch on that first TD. Also made an insane catch on the sideline, keeping both feet in.
That was maybe the
grab.
catch of the day. Right.
So he was really good.
Really good. They play him a tailback, like a little bit like at times like the 49ers do with Deebo Samuel.
I was just going to say the same thing because Deebo's touchdown was like it looked like Rondale Moore's touchdown earlier in the game.
Thing. Get the guy the ball in space, let him make some moves and go that way. But I mean he is. They don't lack playmakers, and on a day like again where Chase Edmonds was less than 100%. That's what's special about their football team. Oh, okay. Well, we'll find other ways to, make plays and make it happen. But impressive win. Impressive win against a team that's, known for its physicality in the 49ers, and of course had their backs against the wall and was in a tough position starting a rookie quarterback for the first time ever who, did some good things. We certainly saw some flashes and you go, wow, the guy's got talent. But it's still back to the same conversation, I think, with Trey Lance that you and I have had before. It's just, it's not refined, and you just can't trust where the ball's going to go all the time yet as far as decision or the throw. It's a little iffy at this point.
Okay, all right. So a lot of comments and a lot of tweets about Trey Lance to you, 49ers fans, saying, I know I'm biased, but it seemed like Trey Lance made a lot of big-time throws into tight windows and generally had better control of the football than last week. Do you agree? And Burn Unit says, damn okay, Trey Lance had rookie moments but should take over for Jimmy, ! So a lot of people want this to be the next step in the evolution for Trey Lance. Did you see that on the field?
I do think it was the right direction. I do think he lost control of the ball less, especially as compared to last week.
Yeah, that first interception was what we've seen.
Is what we see.
Overthrown.
Ball going high, right, because of that really long, crazy motion he has. That's what he's going to have to continue to work on. I understand everybody wanting Trey Lance. I get excited, too. You go, well, look at some of the things Shanahan does with him. That's great, but I need to watch the film of that. I need to watch it a little bit, see if there was plays or completions that were left on the field. I don't expect it to be perfect, but I think, again, it's just going to go back to, can Trey Lance maximize what they are as an offense right now? And that'll be the big question. Ultimately, does he have more potential than Jimmy Garoppolo and everything like that? Of course he does. Yes, we know. But right now, does he give a team that is really good and I think views itself as a Super Bowl-ish type of football team, does he maximize what they are right now? And I'm not sure about that. So, again, that's where I would tell everybody, check in, on the Wednesday podcast, and I'll give you some more honest assessments about how he played and what it looked like and whether or not I think they should go forward with him and make him the guy.
Which is not to get back into the weeds of the whole talk that we had during the draft process, but, I mean, that was one of the appeals of Mac Jones in this offense, and I think we've seen it with the Patriots is that he would hit the ground running. Like, would he be as good as Trey Lance in year 2 and year 3? Who knows, right? We just don't know. It's more of an unknown with Trey Lance.
But he'd be better right now.
Would he be better right now for this 49ers offense?
Probably, yeah. I mean, probably. He just, is a little more schooled, and, of course, he's just going to be able to play in the pocket and make those throws. But that's just not the reality we're in right now.
It's not.
And Shanahan
or never will be.
No, or never will be. And Shanahan, I think, did a good job overall. I really do. Now, again, the other thing you got to remember too, 16 carries, 89 yards. I mean, he took some hits yesterday. Like,
yes.
You can't play that style of football all year long. He'll never make it through the year. There's no way. Even as gifted and as muscled up and the athlete he is, which I respect. Yeah, he took way too many big hits, lowering his shoulder yesterday. I think, the 49ers, it just something missing about the team right now. They just can't quite make that play like we saw 2 years ago to get a team in a bad spot and really get momentum on their side and now let the defense just unleash and play fast. The defense is awesome. We know that. Like we've talked about, they're not creating as many turnovers, and the offense just about in every game goes through like stale points where you just go, okay, man, it's 3 series in a row. We haven't really done anything. Yeah. We haven't moved anything, and there's just something off there a little bit.
Last thing on them, do you think Kyle's going to start feeling heat from fans if this year goes south?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, the thing that's going to, I think, lead to that conversation, of course, is the quarterback thing, which I think you're alluding to, the fact that they've traded so many picks to get it.
And there are so many 49er fans that really want that to work out.
They want it to work out.
They think he's the guy.
Right. So if it doesn't work out or he doesn't look good, Kyle's going to get blamed.
Who do we blame?
Yeah, Kyle gets blamed. And then I think the other thing that's going to hurt them is, like, I don't think there's anybody in football who doesn't look at the 49ers and go, that's a Super Bowl roster.
Yeah.
So for them to be 2-3 right now is like, I think if you talk to a lot of coaches around football, they'd go like, how are the 49ers 2-3? How is that team 2-3? And that's where, you can get the pressure mounted on you a little bit if you're a head coach.
Which is why I think all of the people inside that building were so desperate to figure out a way to upgrade at quarterback, because I think everyone agrees, right? It's a Super Bowl roster. Yeah. Do we have the Super Bowl quarterback? Right. If he goes down again, what do we do?
Right.
And we're seeing some of that play out early on this season.
Yeah.
More rookies out there popping on Sunday, and that is where we will start our victory lap.
Whoa!
Victory! Victory! Victory is mine! Victory!
Victory is yours. And we start with a player who actually did not get the victory. It's actually a Bengals wide receiver, Ja'Marr Chase, and what a great game. There were a few really good games. This one was one of them.
Game.
It was insane. 5 missed field goals in the final 2:12 of regulation and overtime for 2 3-1 teams. It was Packers beating the Bengals 25-22 in overtime. But we do want to give love to Ja'Marr Chase. 10 targets, 6 catches, 159 yards, and a touchdown. He was your number 1 wide receiver, and we have seen that play out here early on in this season.
Like, he's DJ Moore of the Carolina Panthers, except he just has a little bit more speed and explosiveness to him. He's I mean, hands down, one of the most explosive receivers in football already. Were you
starting to be worried in the preseason?
Well, a little bit. I mean, yeah. I mean, to a degree. I mean, I think I told everybody at that time, like, come on, it's just preseason. He didn't play football last year. Receiver is one of those positions where your whole life they just go run this route, and you'll get open. And that's it. And now he's, wait, I have to run this route. Wait, Joe Burrow checked to this play. Okay, wait, I have this route. Oh, wait, I have to run this route a specific way. I mean, my whole life they just told me to get open, and I did it. So there's a little bit more of a learning curve than people want to give receiver or give credit to at the receiver position. But, as you see, once again, he is the big play man for their football team. I wish they would push the ball down the field a little bit more as an offense altogether, but good for Jamar Chase. I mean, he's a superstar, as we're seeing. It's unfolding right in our eyes, and he's got a special connection with Joe Burrow. He really does. And, it was awesome, but it was the second best connection on the field that day.
Yep. Andre Brown Jr. says, hey, guys, hate the pod. All right, thank you. Thank you for keeping that going. Chris, you dinged Davante Adams hard in the NFC Championship for not being more impactful and getting open.
Yep.
But Hopkins and Diggs have had really lackluster starts. Is a 200-yard game for Adams not enough to put him up with those guys? He goes, and just kidding. I do actually love the pod. So he wants you to give more love to Davante Adams, who continues to be the target.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically accounted for half of the total yards for the Packers in this game, 11 catches for 206 yards, and teams cannot stop it.
No. That's the first thing I want to question is, what are teams doing for the most part?
Yeah.
Who they're going to in any big moment, but yet teams continue to treat them like, this is where I fall into this trap a little bit. I think a lot of teams look at it and go, wait, we got guys that can cover him. He's not going to just fly by us. He's not that guy that's explosive that way. But, of course, he's explosive enough. He's an incredible route runner. He has incredible hands. He catches the ball in traffic. He's a gamer that way. And then he's a gamer in the fact of the way they use him, and they just always find, okay, we ran this route, now we're going to fake him with this route and run this route. And, okay, we ran the slant and hit him with that, now it's going to be the slant and go. And that's where him and Rodgers are just indefensible that way. So the thing I love about it is they make you they don't let you off the hook with him. They go, okay, if you're going to keep giving it to us, we don't care.
Right.
We don't have an ego. We'll continue to go to the well here.
Right.
Like you're going to just keep letting him go one-on-one. Just amazing how many ways they find ways to get him the ball. And I will say, yeah, maybe I do need to respect him a little bit more as the pure athletic specimen, as compared to maybe some of the other receivers. I'm not opposed to doing that. Either way, he's awesome, and he is, of course, like him and Rodgers. Everything about that offense goes through them. And Green Bay, I'm sorry I'm talking so long. They just, not that they always play great and it's just wow and it's unbelievable. Well, look at them go up and down the field, but they don't mess the game up. That's the one thing. They're going to make you win the game. They're really not going to make mistakes. They execute for the most part on both sides of the ball, and I think that's what's impressive with them. And then Rodgers always knows the right time to go, okay, now I need to live on the edge a little bit and make a play here and there, and that's why they're in the conversation for one of the best teams in the NFL.
And it was for the most part Adams and Rodgers, but there was a crucial 3rd and 16 conversion.
Holy shit.
That led to the eventual game-winning field goal from Rodgers to Randall Cobb, set up the 49-yard field goal for the win for Mason Crosby after he had missed 3 in a row, after he had made his 27th in a row, dating back to the last time he missed one coming into the game. What a weird finish. We'd never seen anything like that before. McPherson, the kicker for Cincinnati, thought he had won the game too. I mean, that was sad. It was kind of sad.
It was like, oh, no. He was like, he was celebrating with the team, and he was like, he pointed at the refs like, look, he's saying it's no good. He's crazy.
Yeah, we all saw it go in, right?
No, it was never in. What are you? You're crazy.
I wonder if he thought if it hit the flag, like that counted, like that's close enough.
I don't know what he thought. I really don't. It was really odd.
I know, and to see the smiles on his teammates' faces when they were hoisting him up.
I guess he thought it kind of hooked in and went around after. Maybe. I don't know what he thought there.
But so strange for Mason Crosby, who seems like a super great guy.
Yeah.
And we heard him talk after he made the game-winning field goal against the 49ers that Sunday night, and he was awesome. And he just was scratching his head. He's like, I don't know how this is happening. I don't know if it was windy or what, but he eventually got the one that
it can be
mattered.
A windy stadium. I've been there a few times. It is. There's a wind. Yeah, but he's still clutch. They're not going to lose any faith in him.
So Cincinnati could have won. They could have been 4-1. And I honestly think that they are a good team.
They are. Hey, everybody. I don't know. Pete will tell you. I thought this would be. I said Green Bay would win by 3 points, I believe, on our Thursday Pick podcast. I thought this would be one of the upsets of the week. Yeah, we all got to stop sleeping on the Cincinnati Bengals a little bit. First off, we got the weapons we've talked about on offense. They protect and run the ball a little bit better than they used to. I wish they, like you've heard me say, throw the ball down the field that way. But their offense has answers and talent. That's going to give them a fighting chance. And their defense is talented, and it's pretty well coached. And I think that's where they're here to stay, everybody. They're not going to fall off the earth, and we're going to look up in 6 weeks and be like, well, damn, they've lost 7 in a row, and they're 3-8 now. No, that's not going to happen. I'm not saying they're going to be like, 8-3, but they're going to be in the mix of this, certainly. And let's get back to that 3rd and 16 play you talked about just for a second.
Sure.
It was one of the few plays all day, and again, of course, I can't tell everything on TV, where it looked like they actually doubled Davante Adams. But see, that's where when you go to the well and you just continue, you got to force, we've talked about this before, you got to force a team to defend something, or what's your bread and butter? Yeah. And that usually forces team to go to a defense they don't want to go to. Oh, I don't want to play this because, now we're compromised here. But in that situation, 3rd and 16, of course, they're thinking, Davante Adams, they bracketed him. He ran basically on the left side there. And if anybody goes back and watch the replay, you'll see like a 16-yard curl route. But there was 2 guys on either side of him. Rodgers kind of looked at him and then, of course, floats away and makes, a Rodger-esque type throw. I mean, that only him, Mahomes, and Allen make, where it's like fading off the back foot, 27-yard throw in the middle of the field,
tight
no
window.
problem. Yeah, tight window, no problem, Randall Cobb.
Yep. Yeah. And the Packers ended up winning the game, even though maybe at times the Bengals look like the better team. But it's like one of those situations where the Packers have been there, done that. They've been successful here recently. Right. And I think it's kind of the same story with our next game, Steelers beating the Broncos 27-19. Who knows? The Broncos might be better this year than the Steelers, but it's just like that. Big Ben was a little bit of Big Ben before, and then our victory lap goes to Chase Claypool once again, who I think has been a victory lap for you multiple times on this podcast because you liked him coming out of Notre Dame last year.
Yeah.
He showed up big time in this game. 6 targets, 5 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown. And Ben Roethlisberger seemed like he took a step forward this week.
Well,
what'd you think of him?
Well, definitely. I mean, let's start there. I mean, first off, he took a step forward, because didn't do any dumb things, right? I mean, there wasn't that moment of dumb interceptions. He does have the fumble.
Strip sack fumble early in the game. You're going,
where it was the same type of thing where it's just like, hey, man, again, you just the play's over. Go down. You're not Big Ben of 7 years ago. Right? And I can't remember who hit him to strip sack him there. Yeah, but I remember I was in the room with everybody in NBC just going, oh, my gosh, see, he does this every week. If he would just stop doing this, they're going to be a handful. But running the ball the way they did, on that Denver Broncos defense, who's, of course, been good, but that was, I think, the question of the Broncos. Was there enough big people in the middle of their defense? But once you do that, it creates teams – it makes teams have to play a little man-to-man. And they have guys that it should be a simple formula. If they can continue just to run it, be patient, Big Ben don't mess it up. And when you get one-on-one with either one of those freak shows and Deontay Johnson or Claypool, then you got a team, by the kahunas, for lack of a better way to say it.
Yeah.
Because there's not many people that are going to be able to run with those two. Chase Claypool, just to sum it up for the, giving them the victory lap. I think I've said this before, but, I mean, he's one of the most impressive physical specimens I've ever seen in my life, not just college football or whatever. I mean, when I saw him on the field at Notre Dame, I was like, this guy is a freak show. He's a first-round pick. And I tried to tell a lot of my friends in the NFL, like, he's a first-round pick. You guys are crazy. I've never seen a Brandon Marshall, the Vincent Jacksons of the world, the DK Metcalfs of the world. This is who this guy is. But the stats didn't line up, and there was some stuff there like, why didn't he play that much until the last 2 years? I don't know. But you're seeing now he's a freak show, and if they can play that way, they'll be a handful.
Because he's Canadian, right? Canadians are always underrated.
They're always underrated. We don't give them the respect they deserve.
Najee Harris got a lot of respect coming out of the draft, and we knew that the Steelers wanted to get him involved in the running game early on in the season, had by far his best game of his rookie season. You're seeing it here on YouTube. First 4 games, he was averaging under 50 yards per game, and then he just goes off versus Denver, 23 carries, 122 yards. Did you see specifically what they did to get him going against this defense?
I don't know. I would like to. That's something I need. Like, we're going to do some run breakdowns on the Wednesday podcast as far as, like, I don't know. What were they pulling guards? Was it just straight ahead double teams and go to the second level? I can't give you an honest answer there. That's the crappy thing about all the games being on. You know, I can kind of just go. At some of these things, I just have to chalk it up a little bit and go, man, it just looks like Pittsburgh's dominating the line of scrimmage. And then, man, it just looks like, holy crap, Najee Harris made a lot of great, 5 and 8 yard runs throughout the game. And I can't always look at specifics that way, so I'm sorry, and that's where I'll get to that on the Wednesday podcast. But, yeah, impressive that way. Of course, we know the defense is special. That offense in Denver, hey, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be as explosive going forward. They're missing some key receivers and people. Sutton's a beast. He's a superstar receiver, but he's the only guy right now out of the receiving core that you go, oh, we got to really worry about him. And we'll see where it goes going forward for Denver. But certainly are hurt by Judy being hurt and KJ Hamler getting hurt. That changes the dynamic of their offense and their football team.
Yeah, Javonte Williams had a good run for them in the first half. But late in the game, it just didn't seem like Denver was going to score. They did.
Yeah.
And they had a chance to win the game.
Definitely.
At the end, Pitt holding with an interception, James Pierre picking the end zone. So, I mean, give him credit. When I was watching the highlights of that game, I was like, all right, there's no way
it's over.
Right. And they actually had a chance to come back late in the game. So they made it close, could not get the victory. My Detroit Lions seem to make it close all the time.
Damn.
But they did not win. We're going to give the victory lap to Justin Jefferson, another wide receiver that you were high on. 7 catches, 124 yards. But this is all about the Detroit Lions having heartbreak once again. And at the end of the game, my guy, Dan Campbell, in the post-game press conference, shedding a tear.
Well, yeah, I got no problem with that. I hope people don't have a problem with that.
Some people do have a problem.
They don't like the coach crying. Is that what they're saying?
There was a lot of love out there. Like, hey, that shows how much he cares about this team.
It means nothing. Like, don't give me like, oh, he can't handle the emotions of the sport. No, he loves the emotions of the sport. He loves his players. He wears his heart on his sleeve. It doesn't make him less tough. No, it's the exact opposite. He's so tough. He doesn't care about crying in front of the TV. He doesn't give a shit. If you don't think he's tough, go up to the Detroit facility and say, hey, Dan Campbell, I want to fight you, and then see how that works out for you. Okay? Right. You'll be on your ass like, Tyson Fury did Deontay Wilder on Saturday night.
Yeah, how do you think the players in the locker room
I think they're going to respect it because they see the guy every day. So they're going to know he's passionate and loves them. That's the one thing, even going back to when he took over as the interim coach in Miami, it's all I've ever heard about Dan Campbell. He's good that way.
Yeah.
Just as far as connecting with the players, coaching them hard, but making them feel like, he really does care about them. Listen to the way he talks about them in any press conference. He always gushes about their effort, their toughness, what they're doing, the work they're putting in. That was a heartbreaker. I mean, it was a heartbreaker where they didn't deserve to probably be in the heartbroken situation with the fumble, with Madison fumbling late in the game.
The defense did. Jared Goff, he's got his good, he's got his bad.
Yeah.
They were driving the ball, and they did this last week as well. They drove the ball, and they couldn't cash in.
Can't cash in. That's one of their problems.
Sacks at bad times.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, late in the game, the defense stepped up. They got a couple crucial 3-and-outs. They got the fumble late that led to the game-winning touchdown and the 2-point conversion. So they were clutch.
Yeah.
But then just couldn't pull through. And my wife she goes, do you think there's a curse on that team? I was like, probably.
I think there is.
There's probably no other way to explain it at this point.
That same curse that was on the Cubs and the Red Sox.
Yeah, it was like a billy goat. She's like, what animal's been around the Lions? I was like, I don't know. I'll have to check. There's something going on there.
I know, but you put it right, Ahmed. They play tough in every game. They're never outclassed in any game.
Yeah.
They just, last week was Chicago. They got down early. They moved the ball up and down the field, but they, had the bad snap, and then he got strip sack fumbled in 2 consecutive series where you're going, all right, they're going back and forth with the Bears. It's going to be a good game. Yesterday, you're right, same thing. Just unable to, cash in on some drives to get points and some untimely turnovers that have put them in a tough spot.
Jared Goff falls to now 0-12 in his career without Sean McVay.
He's never going to hear the end of this until he gets the win.
I do want to give some credit and some love to the Vikings and Alexander Mattison. Big game for him, 113 rush yards without Dalvin Cook, 40 yards through the air. And we're talking to our friends over at PointsBet Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of NBC Sports.
Boom.
And they said they don't adjust the line. When Dalvin Cook is out and they put in Alexander Mattison, the line doesn't change at all.
I don't think they need to. I mean, I don't think Alexander Madison's quite as explosive as Dalvin Cook, but it's not like to a point where you go, well, that changes the game, because that would have been a 70-yard touchdown with Dalvin Cook, and it's only going to be a 30-yard game with Madison. No.
Yeah.
It's more like, that would have been a 70-yard touchdown with Dalvin Cook, and Madison maybe gets pushed out at the 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And they're still down there, and they're really close. So they don't miss much. Kirk Cousins, again, his ability to make big throws, that's the one thing I look at with them. It's high degree of difficulty of throws a lot of times. It's a lot of deep crosses, post, go routes to Justin Jefferson. It's not dink and dunk by any stretch of the imagination. And I think, you look at him, Buffalo, of course, with his 15 completions for 300 yards. Big Ben had 15 completions for 2-something, right? It was, 250s?
Yeah.
There was a lot of explosive plays in the pass game yesterday. I think that was one thing that jumped out to me more than anything, maybe.
There is a curse for the Lions. Pete found it, the curse of Bobby Lane.
Yeah, why is that?
The mythology about the curse goes like this. The season after Lane helped the Lions win their third and final championship in the 1950s, Lions coach George Wilson traded the Hall of Fame quarterback to the Steelers on October 6th in 1958. In exchange, the Lions received quarterback Earl Morrall and 2 high draft picks. Lane was angry, supposedly said the Lions wouldn't win a championship for another 50 years. Oh. It's now been 63 years since then. So maybe now it's time for the curse to ease off, right? It's like back off curse. It's like you've done your damage.
Yeah, you've done your damage,
Lions,
Bobby Lane.
You've made the coach cry.
Yeah.
like stop.
Yes, multiple
times. You're being too mean
at
this point. Congrats to the Vikings. They get the win. Last-second field goal, 54 yards. Lions have seen that before. Congrats to the Falcons. Went over at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Got up to a big lead over the Jets, ended up hanging on for the win. We're giving the victory lap to you and Kyle Pitts. You called Kyle Pitts a generational talent. I was like, we're throwing around that term a lot. I was like, watch yourself.
I'm not the only guy that did that.
I was like, watch yourself.
It's just like,
and I go, is he a generational talent? And you doubled down. You not only singled down on it, you doubled down on it.
Damn, I'm gutsy.
He did look like it in the last game. 9 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown. Seems like he and Matt Ryan are starting to hook up here.
Definitely. I'm so mad I picked the Jets in this game. I really am. I knew it was like, this is not the game you trust a rookie quarterback to go over in London. Zach Wilson, first off, had his worst performance as an NFL player. I mean, I don't care. It was only 1 interception. It didn't matter. He missed a lot of throws. Even some of the completions.
Even worse than that Patriots game?
Yeah. In a lot of ways, I looked at it. I think there was more there to be had in this game than that Patriots game, where, this was like, man, some completions, some people are open. Like, he was off. I don't know any other way to say it, but the Atlanta Falcons, it came down to like 3 things: Matt Ryan, Cordero Patterson, and Kyle Pitts. That's all it was, all game long. No Calvin Ridley on the trip.
No Russell Gage.
No Russell Gage.
No Julio. They traded him.
You're funny. I mean, and, not a great running game to talk about. But, Matt Ryan's still, of course, one of the better quarterbacks in football. We know that. But, man, Cordero Patterson, what a weapon. I mean, run the ball. Get behind us, and we'll hand off the ball traditionally. Oh, now we want to get the short passing game. Let's throw some screens to Cordero Patterson. Let's put him out a wide receiver. He'll bust it up the seam for 6, 7, 8 yards every time and put us in 2nd and 2. And then Kyle Pitts is just I've never seen a guy that big move that way. I can't. I mean, it's like, it is a little bit Calvin Johnson-ish. It's not that explosive, but it's still freaky. The freakiest thing is like, hey, I think it was one of his last catches of the game, which was like the 39-yard post route. I mean, a post route over the top with a tight end, I think the Jets are probably like, oh, they're not going to run a post route with a tight end and just take off the top of our defense and throw a bomb to him. Yeah, they are. He can do that. I mean, he moves like a big receiver. And, of course, he adds in the running game, blocking and everything there, too. So, Falcons, gutsy, hanging in there. They've had 2 gutsy wins, this Jets and Giants, make them respectable.
2-3, Atlanta Falcons so far. Arthur Smith, first year there. And he's going with the reverse beard. Have you seen that with Arthur Smith? It's like he's shaved down by his
there.
chin.
Right.
And then he's got like the big lamb chops, but it's more than that. I think it goes into a mustache. So.
Yeah, it does go into the mustache. I don't even know what you call that, but
reverse beard. It's got like something like a.
I think there's a true phrase
reverse,
for it.
I'm sure there is. It's a little out there. I didn't think Arthur Smith was that kind of personality to pull off a look like that.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't either. I didn't. But I got to study that. Why don't we study that a little bit more?
Wednesday's pod. Why don't you do that?
Are you coming back for Wednesday's pod?
No, I'm not. But you and Paul.
So when you come back for a Wednesday pod, we'll get it on the board, and you could
draw
teach
lines
us,
on it.
Fill
it in. Maybe if we feel
issues here.
Yeah, if it would look better in a different way. All right. So the Falcons beat the Jets.
Should have beat them easier, too.
Yeah, Jets came back, some garbage time.
Yeah,
stuff
Atlanta kind of messed it up a little
bit
bit at the end and let them back in the football game, certainly.
We're going to get into the damn okay here in a second, but first we want to give some love to Under Armour here.
Let's
Under
do
Armour,
it.
I'm wearing the Steph Currys. Once again, you can see them prominently on these Monday podcasts here. So, Chris, we have an Under Armour.
I haven't got mine yet, so if anybody's going, well, why isn't Chris wearing it? I haven't got them, so I don't know what to say.
Let's still give some love to Under Armour, though.
Of course,
right?
I'm going to give them love.
All right, so we have something to read. We have never rehearsed this before. This is the first time we've ever done this on the pod.
I like it.
And we're going to do it live.
Let's do it.
Do you want me to start?
Let's do it live.
Do you want me to start or do you want you to start?
No, you start it. You wanted to start it. You said you were going to.
That's right. I forgot. We are supported by Under Armour. And just like us, Under Armour wants to give you an edge.
They are focused on performing better and taking their game to the next level.
Next level. Yep. Everything from running shoes that propel you forward to hoop shoes like I'm wearing right now for that insane grip that even make hoodies that reflect energy.
Yes, and we're not just about the end results.
Yes.
Winning or glory. It's not always about winning or glory, okay?
No, not always.
Got to check the ego at the door every now and then.
Usually it is, but no. Under Armour is about hard work and dedication. That's what it's about.
That's what we're about.
The cycle of training, competing, recovering. We give you advantages, but not shortcuts. The only way
is through.
I
Boom.
thought that went pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
Clip that off, Pete.
Bam. Send
Run
it
that
to
back
Under
next
Armour.
time. And I can confirm on the shoes, the Steph Currys I'm wearing, they do have insane grip because when I walk in the hallways here, you can hear it.
You get squeaky.
You get the squeak.
You get the squeak. That's always a good sign.
That's how you know they have grip.
It definitely is. And I man, it's killing me. I mean, I want to be about the hard work and dedication and the cycle of training.
Got to wait till you get the shoes.
But and my hip is killing me. If anybody's
true.
wondering why I'm wiggling around and standing up occasionally, my hip's still not 100%.
Physically, it's a tough couple weeks for you here.
I've had better.
Okay, all right.
I've had better.
Under Armour's going to help get us through. The only way is through. So let's go through it. Let's push through it.
Let's push.
And we push through now to Damn Okay, presented by Under Armour.
Damn. I'm okay. Damn. I'm okay. Yeah, no, I mean, yes. I'm okay. The legal gambleizing. Oh, baby. I am Chris Sims. I'm okay. Damn. Okay.
Pete always knows I'm ready to jump the gun right there. He goes, hold on, wait. There's two more damn okays. So we just gave love to the wide receivers in our victory laps.
Yeah.
Let's give some love to defensive backs in our damn okay. And we'll start with the Cowboys beating the Giants 44-20. You can give a lot of love to the offensive guys, which I'm sure we'll do here in a second. But Trevon Diggs did it again. 6 interceptions this season, tied for the most interceptions through the first 5 games of a season since 1970. He did it again.
Just trying to think here. It's the best ball skills in football at the DB position.
Well, this was the first one that was on a deep pass, right?
That was the post route, right?
Versatility,
yeah. Right.
But yeah, you think this is not, because sometimes.
Yeah, this is not luck interceptions.
It can just be random.
These aren't like the ball popping in the air and I just happen to be there, right?
He's finding the ball.
I've been on teams like that. Like, hey, one year, just for like a short story here, I was playing with the Tennessee Titans 2008 season. We had a corner, Alteron Werner. He was really good.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. His second year in the NFL, now I have left and gone to Denver, he had a bunch of interceptions, or maybe it was third year, then he got to go to Tampa and sign a big contract. It was just because of the interceptions. And I'm not trying to take away anything from Alteron Werner. I'm just saying, he wasn't like an island lockdown corner is what I'm saying.
Sure.
He just happened to be right guy in right place, good hands, whatever. This is not the case. Dallas plays a lot of man-to-man coverage. And Diggs has just got unbelievable feel for what the quarterback is doing drop-back-wise. And then, his feel down the field just to play the ball. Unlike most DBs, right, Ahmed? You'd watch DBs weekly who, hey, I'm running with the wide receiver, and they just try to play the wide receiver when they catch the ball, right? Let me just try to time it out when he puts his hands up, and I'll try to rake the ball away. He doesn't do that. He plays it like a receiver when he's down the field, and I think that's what's really impressive about him. And, of course, Dallas in general. Yep. Hey, the defense makes plays. The offense puts tremendous pressure on you because they're awesome. They're awesome. I mean, Dak Prescott, the running game, whatever you want to say, good win for the Dallas Cowboys.
So to wrap it up on Diggs here, there is some split opinion out there on him, and I think we have tweets that indicate
he's going to get what? He's going to get burned every now and then.
So we got Mikey Groggins that's tweeting out Trevon Diggs gets torched every week but gets an interception too, so people think he's elite. And then you got Michael Irvin on the other hand saying, boy, Trevon Diggs looking just like Deion Sanders, # facts.
Yeah, negative Michael Irvin Ghost Rider.
So he's a little too pro Diggs.
No. I mean, nobody would even throw the ball at Deion Sanders. Come on, Deion Sanders.
Maybe they won't pretty soon here for Diggs.
That's not going to be the case because our second response is right there. He gets burnt every week, too. He lets up a number of big plays.
Yeah.
I don't think they really care. They want to play aggressive and frenzy on the defensive side of the ball. They play a lot of different looks. That's what Dan Quinn does right now, which is really impressive that he's changed himself that way. And, I think they're content with not dying slow deaths and playing a little aggressive that way and him making a few plays every now and then. But he's going to give up a few plays. He does not have 4.3 top end speed. And when you're playing on an island against some of these receivers out there, it's going to be an issue. So, really good player, but let's not call him Deion Sanders or Darrelle Revis yet.
Well, Michael Irvin already did.
Yeah.
He did it. It's out there. Jake Cood 13 says, Chris and the big boy Fareed, self-scout thyself. The Dallas Cowboys are not only the best team in the NFC East, but they are a top 3 team in the NFC. And he goes, P.S., we need a Paul Burmeister, Chris Sims, and Ahmed Fareed joint pod one time. Get all 3 of us in. Paul and I have talked.
Yeah.
I was like, we should just do a pod, me and Paul. Give you a day off.
Right.
We take over the pod.
Nah.
You get out of here.
Nah.
Why not?
Because I want to be there.
You'd want to be here for it.
I want to be here, but I would be cool. I'd like to sit in the middle of you two.
We told Danielle it's like your anniversray or something like that and go enjoy the day. You'd still want to come in
I want to be here.
Yeah.
Anniversary.
You'd bring her here. She'd be in the background.
Sorry, we can't do that. Hey, listen.
Top 3 team? What do you think?
Well, top 3 team in the NFL, I don't know if I'm going to go there.
NFC.
In the NFC, they're in the conversation there. Well, they are.
You'd put Arizona ahead of them. Would you put Arizona ahead of them? I just threw that out there, but
I don't know if I would.
So you'd put Tampa ahead of them.
It would be really cool.
You'd put the Rams
Tampa
ahead of them.
I would probably put the Rams. I'd probably put Green Bay ahead of them too. I think Green Bay's a tough matchup for them.
Okay.
Just because Green Bay's defense is good, and I do think Rodgers and company are going to move the ball on Dallas too.
Okay.
But no, I think they're right there in that conversation.
They're 4 for you.
Yeah, maybe 4.
Unofficially right now, they're 4.
I think they probably match up. I'm trying to think. I think they probably would match up well with Arizona. I would have a hard time thinking Arizona's going to stop them either.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of go back and forth. Tampa, as we saw, they can stay there toe-to-toe with them. They're going to have to throw the ball to beat them. But no, I think it's a fair question. I certainly didn't expect the defense to be what it is. I just didn't expect Dak Prescott and the offense just to hit the ground running the way they have.
And they went 2 for 5 in the red zone, too. So it could have been even worse.
Definitely.
Against the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants, hey. Giants made some plays. Of course, he had the bad injury with Saquon Barkley turning his ankle. Daniel Jones putting his head down when the game was still, in a competitive part of the game where the Giants were hanging in there. That kind of ended all things there. Kadarius Toney's a freak show.
It was good. He didn't finish the game either, though, because he threw a punch.
He went psycho.
Yeah, 189 yards, though. We saw it on tape. You liked him.
Yeah, he's what we saw out of Florida. A little raw, but when you get the ball in his hands, watch out.
Shifty.
Yeah, he's shifty, and he can really accelerate once he gets the ball. But Dallas, I just think we go back to what we've been talking about. I did not think they would run the ball to that capacity on that Giants defensive front. Giants defensive front a little underwhelming that way. But man, Dallas, Ezekiel Elliott, another thing. Self-scout thyself. Yeah, I did not expect him to look the way he does either. So Prescott's been better. Offense is creative. They're patient when they need to be in the run game. They can do it all. And to our who asked that last question about self-scout thyself there? there.
Jake Cood 13.
Yeah, Jake Cood 13. Yeah, dude, you're right. I mean, they're in that conversation for one of the 3 best teams in the NFC, certainly.
In the conversation, the Saints have been in that conversation for many years in a row. They get a victory over the Washington football team, 33-22. We're going to give the damn okay to Marshon Lattimore.
Yeah,
He's back. He missed a little bit of time earlier this year. Lattimore held Terry McLaurin to 2 catches for 31 yards on 8 targets when they were matched up. So that was key. In a game that could have gone either way, there were some mistakes for Taylor Heineke, but some big plays as well. But New Orleans, Chris, when you're watching this game, they did just enough to win this game.
I mean, the game was going to be a tight one. If it isn't for the Hail Mary, probably at the end of the first half. I mean, that was the changing moment of the football game.
Yep.
Really, at a lot of points, you were sitting there going, man, okay, wait, Washington's kind of controlling the football game here a little bit. It's scary. The Saints go down and have a good drive. Jameis Winston made some big throws during the day. Certainly when he did make connections, they were for chunks of yards.
Yeah.
But they have the big drive to go 13-13, but then to get the ball at midfield and throw the Hail Mary, I feel like the game was really never the same after that. It kind of put them in a power position. And Marshon Lattimore, just back to him, when he's like, see, this was personal to him. It was Terry McLaurin, his old college teammate. He wasn't going to let him go out. It's just like when he played Julio Jones with Atlanta. That's when he plays his best. Marshon Lattimore, his problem is he just has games where he gets bored at times. I don't know any other way to say it. But when you see the Marshon Lattimore you saw yesterday, you go, no, that's a top 5 corner in football. He has it all. So, yeah, I'll be excited just to watch that and see what he did to Terry McLaurin, who I really value as one of the better receivers in football.
Yeah, that Hail Mary to Callaway, 49 yards, had a expected completion percentage of 9.9. That was the probability, the most improbable completion in the NFL this season, according to Next Gen Stats.
Yep.
As we do live in the Next Gen Stats era.
That's what we do
now. And Ron Rivera was asked about that play afterwards, like, what happened? He goes, he caught it. That's what he caught it.
Yeah.
But I will say,
right.
I will say that here's another instance because Heineke did bring them back. They were down by 5, 7 minutes left in the game. Washington was still in it. The Saints had the ball, and it's a trend, and we're seeing it now with Sean Payton.
Yeah.
He sees all the young kids, the Staleys going for 4th down. They went for 4th and 1, the Saints did, at their own 35.
Right.
With a 5-point lead.
Right.
And they got it. 6 minutes left in the game. Like, that is a situation. I think of all the 4th downs, maybe that one might be one of the more surprising ones.
That is.
You got the ball in your own end.
Yeah.
4th and 1. They
got a good defense, but obviously he wasn't feeling it at that moment.
Right.
And so that led to so that was
drive ended with a touchdown pass to Kamara, who was big in this game for
that
them.
Was that drive. Okay.
Yep.
So that's I don't know if I saw that play happen live. Kamara was phenomenal. I mean, that's the one thing I saw throughout the game. But I guess this is going to continue to be a trend.
Yeah.
You're up by 5. Okay. You want to control the game, put it away. I guess they figure, listen, if we get stopped, okay, we might be down or the field goal will still up by 2. But I guess, teams would rather I don't know the logic in that. I don't know what the logic is.
You think
there.
we're going
really
you think we're starting to go too far?
I don't. It's hard to argue it with the way it's working out for teams right now, but I think we're going to get into some big football games where it's going to come back to burn teams. I do.
I'm sure.
But it's got to be a gut
49ers.
feeling.
I mean, the 49ers missed 4 of their 5 4th downs.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a gut feeling, your matchup, how your defense is doing. And I guess at that point right there, I'm guessing Sean Payton just didn't feel like his defense was going to make another stop. He was worried about Heineke pulling off some late-game magic.
Now, Pete, make sure that actually did happen here. If Chris didn't see it, and
that's all right.
I think that did
I can't see every play in football.
I think that did happen, but of course I was catching
up.
Well, no,
I'm going to look
too.
right now because I got it right here. So
okay, all right, we're just
let's
see. That's why we got Pete says
so
that's
here
why
we
got the extension cord.
They had 1st and 10 on the 25. They went Kamara left tackle for 3 yards. Jameis Winston to the middle to Kenny Stills for 6 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jameis Winston for a quarterback sneak off the right guard. He didn't get anything. And then they went Jameis Winston off the left guard. And I guess it was a quarterback sneak again to where he got that, right? He got the 2 yards, got a 1st down.
Yeah,
on their own 34-yard line, as you explained.
That was it.
Right? And then he hit a deep pass for 32 yards to Troutman after that, and that kind of flipped the field position. And then there was Kamara left tackle to the Washington 21 for 11 yards.
Yep.
And then it was Will Clapp eligible, Kamara to the right guard for 2 yards. And then we had the pass to Kamara for the touchdown for the 19-yard touchdown pass, right?
Okay. So, it
so
was
there you go.
They did not punt. They wanted to control their own destiny. They did that, as many teams are doing. The Saints did it as well.
Saints offense seems like it's going in the right direction. We'll see. Jameis Winston's getting better and better. I think you're seeing a little bit more confidence from Sean Payton as far as calling the game for him, not like managing him quite to the same extent.
Right.
A lot of new pieces on that offense. Of course, and it's a quarterback who's still – working to adjust to play the Saints way and Sean Payton way, and I don't have to be the guy I was in the Bucs and do all the crazy stuff anymore. So there's an adjustment. I'm certainly not giving up on the Saints. They're too good up front on both sides of the ball for me to sit here and go, well, they're going to fall apart here at some point. No, I think the Saints will only continue to get better as the year goes.
Saints are happy that we have an extra game this year. They need a little extra time to figure it out, and maybe they are figuring it out. Get the win
Good thing
against
they're Saints because they got that Hail Mary.
One more here in the damn okay. We're going to give it to Darius Slay of the Eagles. He had 2 interceptions, just 1 first down allowed on 6 targets in this game. They beat the Panthers 21-18 in a game, which I just saw the highlights of, extended highlights here. It was a game that I feel so bad for the Carolina defense. I mean, if there's any unit that deserved a win, I feel like it was the Carolina defense.
Yeah.
And that offense and Sam Darnold with the picks, they just let them down in this game. Eagles won, but I feel like the Carolina offense lost.
Yeah, 100%. Sam Darnold, the first interception, that was bad. It was a bad decision down the right sideline. It looked like it was 2-man, and Darius Slay intercepted the ball there. Where they're controlling the game at that point. As we went on, I can't remember the other Darius Slay interception. I remember seeing it live. I just can't remember the specifics of exactly how that went down. But hey, Sam Darnold, even through their game, their winning streak and their first 3 games, there's a number of plays in every game where you just go, damn, he should hit that. Damn, what's he looking at? That guy's open. Is he not looking down the field? Is he looking at the pass rush? So he hasn't settled in yet either. And obviously, we see that the last 2 weeks. He's had a few turnovers and not seeing the field all that well. But, I think between his turnovers and then you get the punt blocked at the end of the football game, right? When they were up, at what point were they up there? That was still, was it a 15? Let me just see if I could figure this out. Well, they were up, it was 18-13 at that point. I think they were up 18-13 and had the punt blocked, right?
Yeah.
So they pissed this one away, the Carolina Panthers. They certainly looked like the better team on the field, but when you lose the turnover battle and make mistakes like that, the Eagles did a good job just kind of hanging in there and being tough. And that Eagles defense, after the first few drives, really settled in.
Yeah, not unfollowed says, love listening to your show every week. Eagles D for a damn okay for keeping their team in the game like they did. So yeah, if we're gonna bash the Carolina offense, you got to give some love to that defense.
The Eagles defense. First off, it just starts with the 2 guys in the middle. Hargrave and Fletcher Cox are just they up so many plays. They are one of those. That's one of those tandems where you just go f up the play stat. Javon Hargrave would be one of the league leaders in football as far as that's concerned. But yeah, Eagles show toughness, certainly. And, got a little fortunate. Hey, even think about the bad snap over Jalen Hurts' head. The fact that ended up being a safety and not a touchdown, that saved them 4 points. That was a big moment in the football game, definitely. Helped them. And then, so now you're down 15-3, if I remember this correctly.
15-6 at the half.
But 15-3, Carolina got the ball after the safety, did nothing with it. And then, that's where I wanted to go. The Eagles make a huge field goal right at the end of the half, and you go, well, we're only down 9.
That's true.
We got our ass whooped, and it's only 15-9. And that's, as we've talked about a lot in this podcast, when you let teams hang around in the NFL, it always seems to flip at some point.
So congratulations to the Eagles figuring out a way to win a game against the Panthers, 21-18 the final score. Now it is time for Give Me the Headlines, presented by Hyundai. This is the part of the show where we talk about this segment before the show. Chris forgets the headlines we came up with. Pete gets in his ear and reminds him. But apparently Chris has written them down this time. So we start with the Bears defeating the Raiders 20-9.
Return of the Mack. Return of the Mack. Yes, He was back.
Khalil Mack comes
the Mack
back.
attack.
Terrorizes his former team. 8 tackles, 1 sack, 4 quarterback pressures. Neil Mo, 2010. It was not about Khalil Mack here. But yeah, Khalil Mack was
the star of the show on the defensive side of the
show.
ball. Right. It was personal. And this is a game that, hey, with the state of the Raiders' offensive line right now, you go, man, I hope Khalil Mack and the defensive line whoop some ass and take this game over. And they did. I mean, they made it hard on the Raiders' offense all game long. They did. But, again, I think the story of the show, Khalil Mack, the defense, we know.
Yep.
We know it's good. But, they're playing complementary football. The Bears have an identity on offense. Yeah, it's gonna be ugly, but it's an identity.
Yep.
They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna stay patient. Justin Fields gonna make a few throws and be semi-conservative here and there. He'll wait for his chance, and then we'll play through the defense and let them win the football game. And that's to me the best chance they have. This Bears offensive line, as you can see, I said this last week, they can move people in the run game. They can. They have the pieces to do that. I know Jermaine Ifedi got hurt yesterday. I don't know how serious that was. That would stink if because somebody fell on his knee. But I'm impressed with what I've seen from Justin Fields. I'll give Matt Nagy a lot of credit. Bill Lazor's been calling the plays. He's been doing a really good job. And when the Bears play this way, they're going to be a pain in the butt no matter who they play in the NFL. No matter what. It doesn't matter.
That's what my friend Neil Mo 2010 was saying. He said, "What up, guys? Love the pod as always. Can we get a victory lap for Sims?" Said the Bears O-line is actually good. They came through with 143 total yards rushing. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
For the Raiders, a strange game for them.
Yeah.
No big plays for them.
None.
I mean, a lot of credit goes to Mack and what the Bears did on defense,
Right.
but you figure they'd hit some big plays here.
Yeah. Well, the Bears don't put their defense in too many spots for you to get big plays.
Okay.
They don't. They make you work for it. So they're not going to give you the big shots over the top a whole lot. They're not going to play lockdown man-to-man and go, hey, they will from time to time, but that's just not what they do. They have faith in their front to slow down the run and take away the underneath stuff. And for the most part, they're going to have safeties back looking for, the Ruggs of the world and the Darren Wallers of the world. They're very well coached. It's a scheme, of course, that Czech Pagano left behind. But, yeah, they got the talent. They got the talent on that side of the ball to compete with anybody. And then, again, like we're seeing, you play complementary football, and it plays into their style of, wait, now we run the ball a little bit. We're keeping the defense off the field. They're fresh when they get back in. It's changed their football team. Yeah. It has. As compared to maybe early in the year where, listen, the defense wasn't any worse. They were just even put in a lot of tough positions because it was 3 plays and you're in. 3 plays and you're in. We talk about this a lot. And it's just you're going to break at some point if you got to play that way.
Well, a team that did break on the defensive side was the Miami Dolphins, taking on Tom Brady, who threw for 5 touchdowns, 411 yards, 144.4 passer rating for the 44-year-old.
Jeez, 144.4?
I don't think so. What's your headline for Buccaneers defeating the Dolphins?
Guess who's back? Back again. Brady's back. Tell a friend. He's not playing New England. It's I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
I mean that was amazing.
What?
We're seeing the graphic right here. 411 yards, 5 touchdowns, first career game, and he's played a long time. First career game for Tom Brady with over 400 yards passing and 5 or more touchdowns. I mean that. As much as that's the story of how great Tom Brady was and the big plays and Antonio Brown who got some huge plays and shows the speed and seems like he's back and Evans was in there and Fournette got in on the action. It was everything was working for Tampa.
Yeah.
For me, I'm man, the Dolphins were in the conversation of a playoff team because their defense was going to win them games.
Yeah.
And that just got torched in this game.
It goes back a little bit. Okay, let's visit that topic just for a second because I think your point's real. But it's just a little bit like we talked about with the Bears. I don't look at the Dolphins' defense and go, they're bad. I just go, I mean, how many games are we just going to rely on them to just keep us in it?
Sure.
Oh, offense, at some point you'll do something. So I think they're just worn out. It's a point of there's only, they played good defense against the Colts last week. They had moments against the Raiders early on where they were dominant. The Raiders couldn't do anything, but the offense just is so bad that, again, how long can they hang in there? The same thing with the Bills game the week before. If you go back and watch, they made things hard on Josh Allen and company, but it's just their offense was shitty. turning the ball over, gave them short fields. So I don't think it's as bad as their stats are going to show. Okay, that's the first thing I want to say.
Okay.
But I am surprised how much man-to-man they played in the freaking football game. And that's where, like, Tampa's, like, unstoppable, and Brady's unstoppable that way. First off, Brady, as you've heard me say, is throwing the ball as good as any point he has in his whole career. And then you mentioned Leonard Fournette. See, where they can overpower just about any defensive line in football to a degree to where they can, like, oh, you want to stand in there and slug it out with us? Like, Miami's on a fast front. They're a big front. And when you're a big front, Tampa seems to move you. That doesn't matter. They've actually had more problems with the Rams and the speed fronts. But then my point is, they keep you just honest enough in the run game and have so many things they do that they make you play man-to-man. And you can't stop them. I mean, they can't be stopped when you play man-to-man. This is when I was watching the game yesterday, and we did a breakdown of this in Football Night in America, and I'm going to take credit for it because I kept going, I mean, look, it's man-to-man. It's man-to-man. It's man-to-man. It's man-to-man. You can't match up with them across the board and play man-to-man. I don't care how good your secondary is. It's impossible. It's impossible. Oh, okay, we stopped Evans. Okay, great. Did we stop Godwin? Did we stop Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just there's too many things to worry about. They have 3, like, big-time elite wide receivers, let alone, like, a system that makes sense and goes with it. And then Brady's just when he's got time in the pocket, is as good a thrower as anybody in football.
Tom Brady's new team gets the victory. Tom Brady's old team got a victory, a lot more hard fought, and had to have a comeback to beat the Houston Texans 25-22. Your headline for that game?
Not so special teams, okay. I mean, and that's specifically to the Houston Texans.
Oh, both. I mean, there were 3 extra points missed to begin the game.
You're exactly right.
Kind of started a trend in the
whole day was missed NFL extra points. There was. We were sitting there watching it going, I think at 1 o'clock at one point, there was like, at one point, I think it was like, it was like 5 out of the 6 touchdowns scored in all the games. 5 out of the 6 missed the extra points. It was really crazy. It was definitely a theme of the day. Strugglesville for New England. I mean, I give them a lot of credit for hanging in there. I really do. Some turnovers. Their defense didn't play well early on in the football game.
And flicker touchdown made it 22-9.
Houston kind of was like doing New England stuff to New England, like, hey, we'll break out the trick plays.
Mm-hmm. And
Davis Mills played well.
Yes, and then the biggest trick play of them all, you punt it into the back of your own dude's head, is what Houston did, where they punted it into their own lineman. So what were they doing on that play? They were going to fake like they were going for it, and then the guy kind of backed up and wasn't as far back as a punter normally is.
Yeah, let's break this down.
And just ended up kicking it into the back of the head of his own dude.
Yeah, we got to break this down.
Really
was
the turning point in the game.
Their thought's not bad. Okay, that's where the thought's not bad. But you're up 22-9, and it's 4th and 2. They're trying to get a cheap first down, right? Let's try to make New England jump off sides. We'll get a free 5 yards. We'll, get the ball and try to close this thing out. But within that, okay, now they kind of bring the punter up, like you said.
Yeah.
He kind of got in a position where he was like in a deep shotgun snap, like a quarterback would be.
Right.
Then they didn't, they didn't jump off sides. He took a few steps back, but didn't get as deep as normally a punter is.
No, he did not.
And then punted the ball like low, and it went off somebody's helmet. And it's like the game was never the same after that. It was never the same. I mean, the Patriots did nothing with the ball in that drive. They kick a field goal. Defense does a good job. Patriots get the ball back after 5 or 6 plays. They go down on another ugly 7-play, 47-yard drive. We had to work harder than any team in football to get 47 yards.
Totally, yeah.
Right? They kick a field goal there. Houston does nothing with the ball once again. And then it's a 7-play, 54-yard drive with just some runs and some short passes, and all of a sudden you got a 22-22 football game.
Yep.
So, it's a little bit of a class in how to blow a game if you're the Houston Texans.
And it was grinding for New England at the end of the game, and they got the ball with the game tied at 22 with 7:15 to play. They ran 7 minutes off the clock, a 15-play, 84-yard drive to set up the game-winning field goal with 15 seconds left. And they were able to do a lot of that, the running, without 4 of their 5 starters on the offensive line.
That's amazing.
We got a question here from Abraham Akue. Says, damn, okay, and self-scout thyself. So the combo.
Whoa.
We got a combo right here. Both for Davis Mills. A certain someone said he's probably a backup is not as talented as Mac Jones. From what I saw, he's just as skilled as Mac, if not more. Take on Abraham here in his thoughts.
Yeah, no, I don't think that at all. I don't. I mean, again, Davis Mills had a really good day yesterday. They had a good game plan. He certainly made plays. Again, I don't see the amount of high-level throws from Davis Mills throughout the year. Yeah, yesterday, he really outplayed Mac Jones. I'm not going to, deny that. I'm not. But I don't think he's on the same level. No, I don't. Mac Jones, too, in a lot of ways, you could sit here and go, Davis Mills had to have more weapons than Mac Jones. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, Mac Jones doesn't have Brandon Cooks on his team. I don't even know if he's got anybody that runs as fast as Chris Conley on his team. So there's that aspect, too. Houston's offense is good. Davis Mills does some good things. But, to that point, I just want to go, Mac Jones hasn't done some of the crappy shit that Davis Mills has done the last game. You want to go back to Buffalo? You want to go back to the Carolina Panther game? Where I know, the Carolina Panther game on Thursday night, it looks okay, but it was crap for 3 quarters, and Carolina just let them hang in the game, and then, he got some fourth-quarter stats and everything there. So I'm not ready to say that by any stretch of the imagination. I will say yesterday, though, Mac Jones, it looked like it was his poorest performance so far. Okay. He started out on fire, and I think he was, at one point, I want to say he was, what was he?
He had another streak going of
it was 12 for 12 or 13 for 13. You're going, holy cow. But he got away with Houston. That's another thing. The special teams and blew some opportunities to get some interceptions. He should have thrown 4 interceptions yesterday. Houston had chances to put this game away and just didn't catch the ball when the ball was in their breadbasket.
Give some love to Matt Judon as well for the Patriots on the defensive side. 2 sacks, fumble recovery. He's got 6.5 sacks this season, already more sacks than he did with Baltimore last year in 2020. And he's played at Grand Valley State in my neck of the woods, west side of Michigan. And he's built by Taco Bell, made by Taco Bell. So that's good for both. One more game to talk about.
Yeah.
Titans defeat the Jaguars 37-19. Your headline is
grinding.
In reference to
Derrick Henry running the ball and grinding it between the tackles.
Nothing to do with the coach standing on the other sideline.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Man, your head's in the gutter. We're doing, what'd you call this, a double entendre? Yes, thank you. Don't use such big words.
Double entendre.
I like that. But, I thought it fit appropriately with Derrick Henry grinding on the Urban Meyer grinding week.
Urban Meyer is he's starting to, for me at least, maybe not for anyone else, for me, starting to become a sympathetic character.
Oh, my gosh.
I saw him after the Trevor Lawrence first touchdown, and he was pumping his fist. I was like, man, because what an embarrassing week. For anybody, right?
Yes.
I get it. There's a lot of reasons not to like Urban Meyer. He's had a lot of success. Of course, he beat my Michigan Wolverines a lot when he was the Ohio State coach, but I was just looking at it. I was like, man, maybe just for me only. Pete is groaning in my ear, but he's a sympathetic
he should
character.
be groaning. Yeah, I don't think you should give him too much sympathy right now.
And I think, honestly, there were some if you're a Jaguars fan, there were some things in this game. You saw Trevor Lawrence. And there were some moments where you're like, wow, that was pretty good.
The game was 14-13. Right?
Yeah.
I believe it's 14-13 Jacksonville. Yeah, to your point, Trevor looked really good early. They were running the ball well. And now it's 14-13. Tennessee goes down to make it 21-13. Jacksonville answers right back, and they miss a field goal. And the game was never the same after that. It was so that stayed at 21-13. Now they missed that field goal. Tennessee takes advantage of that drive and goes and kicks their own field goal. And now you go in at halftime, instead of it being 21-16 or at least 24-16, it's 24-13. You're down 2 scores. And I believe, and I just want to make sure I'm right here. Yeah, and then the start of the second half was an efficient, Derrick Henry, boom, 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 and a few throws by Ryan Tannehill. And now you're going, wait, we were toe-to-toe with this team. We messed up a few little situations here, and now we're down 31-13. And again, that's young football teams, and being able to execute for 4 quarters. When we talk about teams, they're they put pressure on you because they never mess up. They always execute. Jacksonville has a few moments in every game where the defense might fall off for a little bit, or the offense and Trevor Lawrence fall off. But there's still a lot of positives, and I certainly like the way Trevor Lawrence looks, no doubt about that.
Derrick Henry, 130 yards, 3 touchdowns again for him. Seems like a weekly occurrence at this point. But I will say something that I said last time.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Tannehill does not seem as mobile as he's looked in the past.
Yeah.
And he was sacked 3 more times in this game. He's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. At least he was coming in. I imagine he still is. And these 3 sacks came against the Jaguars, who were least effective as a pass rushing team coming into the game. So I don't know. Some concerns with Ryan Tannehill.
They're not hitting on all cylinders there. They're not. It's not an offense that you look at and go, oh, wow, they got a lot of bells and whistles, and wow, they do so much creative things. They want to be able to run the ball and then get one-on-ones with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, or get you worried about the run, and then they take shots down the field. I still think they're trying to find their way there on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Todd Downing, he hasn't been an OC in a few years. Their offensive line is not as good as years past either. And again, I know Derrick Henry's running for a lot of yards, but he's also running the ball more than he ever has in his career too. And that's saying something. I mean, I got to think that, right?
Yeah.
He's got to have more carries through 5 weeks than he ever has.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, every week's 30 carries right now. We don't really see that in the NFL anymore.
Yeah.
You got to go back to the 90s with Emmitt Smith and some of those guys to see 28, 29, 33. I mean, it's every week. But he's just a phenomenal football player, and they find ways to win. But I don't know. Tennessee just – they're 3-2. I know Julio and A.J. Brown have been banged up, but there's just something about them that is just they're not in any special class for me in the NFL right now. They're a team I got to kind of continue to evaluate as we go forward here.
All right, evaluation will continue, and we'll be here to do that. That was Give Me the Headlines, presented by Hyundai. And I think we've run out of time. No Spencer Rattler, Kayvon Thibodeau power rankings today for the topic power rankings.
We're running low.
Well, yeah, I think we're at our limit.
So
we're at our limit here.
You're going to tease the people a little bit?
We'll tease the people. We'll do it next time. We continue to gather
Do you get
data.
bitter at me that I talk too much?
It's
and we
my
go too
one
long?
segment of the show that I could do, but no, we'll save it for next time.
And the fact that I show up a little late every Monday morning because
you're working till like 1 in the morning on the Peacock Final show.
I wish it was
2 in the morning.
Yeah.
But
I can't go to sleep at night on Sunday nights after that. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah. Well, now you're hip, and now add that to it, and this is all.
I just can't turn off the lights right away. It's like I lay in bed and I'm tired, and but I'm still like Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Kansas City Chiefs, Mahomes, Allen. I just can't shut off the thoughts, and then all of a sudden I look up and I'm like, damn, it's 3:30. I'm not asleep yet. Shit.
Do you think you fell asleep by 4? Do you think you?
I did. Yeah, I would say I probably started the doze in the early 3s somewhere.
And then up by what 9:30?
I got up at 9.
Like yeah.
I got up at 9. I take my time a little bit.
Yeah. I know. It's tough. Hey,
I love you, man.
It's the grind. It's the grind. Love you too, Chris.
Yeah,
it's the grind of the NFL season.
No doubt.
But we like it.
We like it. We do. We're grinding.
And if we are grinding, and if Paul and I do a podcast together, Chris will show up.
You better.
That's the kind of guy he is.
Yes.
He'll be in the background watching, if nothing else.
All right, everybody. That's the show. That's a show. That's a show. All right. That was the Monday podcast. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Presented by Under Armour. As always, we appreciate their sponsorship. Ahmed, you the man. Seriously, you are the man.
Thank you, Chris.
No joke. I mean, you work hard. You're always ready to go.
Ready to go.
You watch everything. I mean, I'm impressed with you.
Wearing my Steph Curry's.
Yeah.
Supporting the brand.
Yeah, you're really doing a good job. Right.
You'll get yours one day.
We won't fire you yet. All right. Peace out, everybody. Check in the Wednesday podcast. What the happened podcast. We'll break down some plays. And again, I always send in plays. Anything you see that you think needs to be broken down, you want to hear us discuss, I would love that. But we're trying to hit on, a lot of games on Wednesday and get a little bit more into the details, into the weeds, as I like to say, about what really happened in some of these matchups. Everybody be good out there. Have a good Monday, Tuesday. We'll see you Wednesday. Peace out. Clap it up. Yo, what's up? Come on, man. Subscribe on YouTube to Chris Sims Unbuttoned Podcast. I need you. Please hit the subscribe button, please.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.